Okay. Woohoo! Welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday. Nistun Nidaniko Makoyo Sekoyi. I just drove from the Wind River Reservation. We had our giant youth summit along with what used to be Eastern Shoshone recovery program. And it's interesting on the Wind River Reservation because the Arapahoes, there was many elders. Curtis came from the Shoshone side, but there was Theron, Spoon Hunter, there was Snowball, there was Gail from the Arapaho side. So welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'll just show you where I'm at. I just came through the Wind River Canyon. I was at the Holy Waters all morning at Washakie, and so I'm just stopped. I just pulled over to the side of the road we promised Native Wellness Institute to bring you positive, productive, and proactive healing information and dialogue. So I just thought I'd stop on the side of the road. I've been eating healthy. I had some carrots, some almonds, some cheese, and a little bit of apple. It's welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's 1:03 here. I just crossed the border from Wyoming into Montana. I'm near a place called Bridger. And it's a different world here. It truly is a different world here. And so I wanted to welcome you. One of the things with our youth, yesterday we had about 150 young people, and they didn't want to squish it to any, so there was 8-year-olds, there was 9-year-olds, and then some went up and they still call themselves youth to 20 years old. There was just a wide range of, and it's interesting because, like some places you have to be 18 years old to do this. Some places you have to be 21 years old. So the youth defined, they said from 8 to 20 ish. And I just loved it because now all of the age, what's a youth? What's an elder? What's a middle age? What's an adult? What is an adult? I mean, what makes us spiritually mature? What kind of anyway, those definitions. And it's about identity. If you identify as a youth, because I heard one of the elders say, he said he was visiting and he just said, I think anyone under 40 is a youth because they're still learning. Anyone under 40 years of age. And then I heard a long-time recovery person say, well, if they started drinking when they were 10 and they just sobered up, even if they're 50, they're only 10 years old. They're emotionally stunted until they start to get in recovery without any drugs or alcohol. I said, wow, what if you were 50 years old and you're just sober a year? And you go back to when you started, and then you start the spiritual and the emotional maturity. So just some things to think about. I wanted to share some of the positive, productive, and proactive things that we've been learning, and from all of there was a lot of indigenous knowledge there at these last 2 days, the 17th and 18th at the Wind River Reservation. And a lot of Mike came in, like I said, there was a lot of women. They had community gardens, and they were just getting ready today. Tomorrow's the youth powwow, so you can go to Wind River Reservation, and it's the youth powwow tomorrow. Then they're having a big old giant powwow, and everywhere there's, you know, you can go all the way up to Alberta. There's powwows. You can come down and on the Blackfeet Reservation at Chewing Black Bones, the Siksikatepi, the veterans are putting on a powwow July 4th. So here, I just want to, today, I was just digging in my little purse here. We had elders come in, and their message was that, yes, some of us, you know, we got colonized when outsiders came in, but they never colonized the plants that grow underneath the ground. And these plants are still there, and they're edible, and they're clean, and they have, and they heal. So it's, they heal from inside your body. Thurin Spoon Hunter, and then Curtis said this, and then several of the speakers of indigenous knowledge began to talk about the healing waters, because Wind River Canyon, there's, you know, the rock is 600 billion years old to 5,200 to the millions years old, and they said that water, when we drink the flowing water from the glacier melt, that there's little, and it's spiritual. When you drink just that water, it goes down and it heals your body from the inside. You're actually healed. And I was just speaking with the elder, because I soaked in the water. That, I feel really mellow. Just like mellow, like not sleepy, but I just feel really grounded, and I feel like I got refreshed and reset. So the first, I just pulled this out because our brother, he's a brother of Benny LeBeau, his name is Mike, and he came in and he had all this medicine in jars. So this is a sago lily, and I'm just putting it real close because you can put it, hey, make good earrings, eh? Make a necklace, hey? But he said that the word sago comes from, it's a Shoshone word. And so this is a sago lily. And you can just take it out of the ground and eat it. And it's kind of sweet. I almost ate it, but I thought, no, I need to talk about people gave me stuff and changed stuff. And so the sago lily, it took them a long time to talk to all of the elders. And, you know, he like cleaned it off, you know, and it's edible. You can eat it. He brought all the plants that you could eat from, that you just pull out of the ground or pull off the trees, or, and so the sago lily, he said it took forever because he was trying to figure out, and was the topic of what was it in Shoshone or Shoshone, or what was it in Arapaho in the language? So sago, and this is why I pulled this one out first. He said sago is belly button. It means belly button. And so it reminded me of, you know, in Peru, when you go up for the Inca, you know, because we're in the time of the prophecy of when the condor meets the eagle. In Peru, Cusco means belly button. So spiritually, our ancestors, our Akita Piwa, the ancestors, they had their, in our languages, our language, there was many places that were, because belly button is like a life giver. A lot of, you know, humans, their belly button is saved and taken into ceremony and is kept, and it's kept, you know, even when, since it's powwow season, your belly button can be put in a pouch boys and girls have different pouches, and they dance because it's symbolic of they were attached to their mother. So this is a symbol of being attached to Mother Earth. The Sego lily, like Sego. And so in Peru, Cusco was the belly button, and then the belly button, as you go up, you know, thousands of miles, say like north, you're heading into, there was what is Machu Picchu, and but this Sego lily, the ancient knowledge here that was shared is that right now, you know, like if one of the elders said you can drive down and there's a McDonald's, but you can drive over here and get all of this and it's free. And so I'm gonna I shared that with you because what they said is when you chew it, and it's delicious. It's like it reminds me of, you know, like if you had like a tofu or a bread biscuit, or it just feels so mighty in its flavor. But what they said is it goes down your esophagus, goes into your bloodstream, goes into your stomach, and it heals you from within. And one of the things that was also shared in this ancient knowledge is that our ancestors didn't get up and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner or supper. What they did when they were traveling, especially when they were hunting, because this man was a hunter and a gatherer, he said they would eat, like I just ate it now because I'm traveling and I have a lot of good emotion. I just came through this Wind River Canyon. I went to the holy waters and I was putting tobacco in the water, and little turtles put their head up and a bunch of rainbow trout were jumping. Kind of like going, yoo-hoo, hi, Makoyo, hi, Theda. And when I was traveling here, I got a sense of how Siksikayatepi Blackfoots or Shoshones or Arapaho are really close to how we live, how they traveled here horseback. And then I wanted to share, you know, one of the stories. The young people want to stop vaping and having fentanyl overdose. They want to stop losing friends. So what the elders do is they tell you a story. So there was both days, on Monday and Tuesday, we just shared story, and the Arapahoes shared story, because the Arapahoes and the Northern Cheyenne were the descendants of those at the Sand Creek Massacre, what is known as Sand Creek Massacre. And I guess some of my tears, because I'm still feeling their stories. But one of the men, and he's an elder, he said, and you know, his sister was there, and they just had their healing from grief, so she had cut her hair, she always had long hair, she'd cut her hair up to here. But the story he shared, and I'd like to, you know, I don't want to say paraphrase, but he said, at the Sand Creek Massacre, there was some of the army and the lieutenants wrote in detail what happened there. But the story that they're told is the Arapaho had a treaty with their horses, their bonacamatas, and Blackfoot are, they had treaty, and when they were being massacred, because there was like 900 soldiers that volunteered, and they were ordered to wipe these guys out because they wiped the Indians out. And when they were murdering, they literally just, you know, shot women and children, but they also mutilated them with their knives, and, you know, took in the stories, took a, you know, killed the pregnant woman, pulled out her baby, and actually scalped the baby, the fetus, the unborn baby. So that's what needs to be healed from. So that takes time to heal. But one of the stories that immediately pushed us into healing was Gail and Snowball and our sister with the short hair. And I'm just the families is, they were told at Sand Creek their ancestor had the treaty with his horse, so he had a whistle, and because of the love between his horse and him, they were trying, you know, stealing all their horses, but that horse just turned and dead fast. And horses can, you know, race horse. This horse, in my mind, could win the Preakness and the Kentucky Derby, and it turned and it came, and he was able to grab, because, you know, because of the weather, one of the best things you can have is a buffalo robe. So when his horse came to him, he threw a buffalo robe on top and got on top of his horse. And as he was leaving, there was many children that were shot, and there was a child standing that was shot and bleeding but alive. And so he just reached down and grabbed that child and put him on his horse, and they escaped. And that was their ancestor. That's why they are alive today in 2024. And man, you know, just so I'm sharing, getting, you know, grabbing, having your horse come, it's almost like a mugger in Indian relay, having them come full speed, and then throwing that buffalo robe on, taking off, because, you know, that it's hard to be a moving target like a fast horse. Is hard to in the movies. It's not like in the movie. Anyway, and then saving a child, and that's the lineage of that Arapaho family. That's why they were alive. And oh, amazing, just amazing. So I think I was thinking about coming through here, and because we're going into Indian Relay. I was talking with my mother, not late last night, but before she goes, we talk every day, and she was just checking in, and she was saying, yeah, the the Indian Relay starts, you know, it's like July 12th, 13th, and 14th. So you're welcome to come to our reservation. There's Indian Relay. And she goes, this year I just want to go to Indian Relay. And she said, I've already got my chair. She's already got her favorite chair. And she, you know, she brings her favorite things to eat, because my mom doesn't eat bad. Like, you know, rodeo hot dogs and rodeo. She likes to, you know, have a nice ribeye, and she was telling me all how, and I was thinking, wow, that's probably why my mom's 86. There's challenges in families and challenges in our tribe, and yeah, there are these, you know, things going on, but she always chooses to look forward to the good things that are going to happen in the future. So she totally, just went and she's going to go to Indian Relay in that horsepower. Then I was thinking of Natuapi Saki, Carol Murray, because she was posting all the posters of where the Indian Relay was, and that, Young Money the men did good over in the Dakotas, and then, at Muckleshoot, the Blackfeet won. they just natural, the horses, these Blackfeet horses, because they're enrolled, These enrolled horses, they're just badass. Anyway, there's all this horse medicine. And, horse medicine, I always, my Tamoko, when my father died, and it's 22 years ago, but my Tamoko, and I call it Tamoko because I got it in New Zealand, and all of our healing work in New Zealand, when my dad died, like when your parents died, that's a rite of passage. But when my dad died, man, I was sick that whole next year. Cold. I even had bronchitis because I was grieving the loss of my first parent. And that's what our body tells our story. But after, when we first went to New Zealand, Deidre and Sid Jackson, he's kind of like the activist that took over Auckland. They took me, I said, they said, well, what do you need? Because we were working on healing, and I go, I really need to heal from my dad being not on earth anymore. And I haven't dreamt of him yet. Because usually when you dream of them, when they get on the other side, they're able to maneuver the other side, and they can come back into your dream. And when they can come in your dream, they're usually healthy and they're younger. So this at Rotorua, and I don't know the dialect, and we went there, and I went into ceremony to heal from the grief of losing my parent, my father, my dad. Pete Leonard Newbress, Monokini, Dad, first day rider. He has, so see this little horse right here? So, I'm so naive, and I didn't understand. It's not like, Americans, oh, I'm going to go get a tattoo. This is what I want. It's not like that. That's like bastardizing the culture. And they also say tattoos are for bikers and convicts and sailors back then, So we grew up, and anyone who had, so they're Tamoko. So in our ceremony, when we prayed with him, he said, okay, now where we were, go take a walk, and he'd start drawing what he seen in the ceremony. So we went and walked the perimeter of where the volcano erupted. It hasn't erupted, but there's healing waters, and that's just what I got out of here is volcanic, where Chief Washiki and the Shoshone and the Rapahos all refresh. And it does, and then they heal. Everybody was in there, had bad arthritis, etc. But this Tamoko, when I came back, and you can see it, it's kind of big. It's not like, and he put this little horse, because I told him my dad had horse medicine. And so I, he'd never seen a horse in his life, but he seen the movie Hidalgo. So he said, this first part is about what he seen was, the different worlds, the life on earth, the in between and the life after. And then this had to do with ancient ancestral knowledge. And he said what he seen was that I would have a better life if I lived like my ancestors and not try to become white. I your opinion. I'm whatever. So anyway, that was I just wanted to share that with you. So I think this Tomoko has decolonized me because it's so large, and just like that, I guess just eating that sago lily. Oh God, I feel the goodness of it. Sometimes he said it can taste sweet, but that almost tasted like, because I like oysters. We just ate, Native Wellness Institute, we ate a bunch of oysters at our Healing Together conference, and we ate a bunch of clams. It tastes like it tastes that goodness. But this Tamoko, and what he said in the ceremony is that now that you have this, because I was like, oh, it's pretty big. Now I can't be the president. I can't run for president and have this. Anyway, so this Tomoko, he said instructions with it is, this will heal you. And I was thinking, because they used to use albatross bones and soot to tap. This was done with a gun, but it did 22 years later. I miss my dad, but I'll see him when I cross over. And right now I can always, books of wood. And I say, Dad. I used to call him Dad here. He was my father, Ninna. Books of wood, Ninna, I call him. And you know what? He comes every time and he helps me. He pities me. No gaikimoka, no gaspomoka. He helps me. He pities me. So I just asked him, pity me, and then I've been asking him lately because all of us siblings were getting older, and I said, Dad, help my sisters, help my brother. And he does. And something happens, he helps. And so this Tomoko that I'm sharing with you, and just as I got that Tomoko, Native Wellness Institute, when we went back to New Zealand, this Tomoko, Thomas Clark did. And it's usually what the women put on their chin here, because I asked for prayers for understanding plants and bringing babies into the world in a good way, and all the matriarch kind of knowledge. And so Thomas put this Tomoko on, and this left part is your female side, and this right side is your male side. And the reason it is Tomoko is because you as a human being need to have your story on your body. And we do, like some people have a bunch of scars. Some people have stretch marks. And so your story should be, so then this is my right side. So I asked for a lot of healing so that I could spiritually be the doorway from my soft spot, could be open to learning more about plants and women and sisterhood and healing. And so that is happening. It's just on fire. And then so Native Wellness Institute, we decided to bring Thomas Clark over to San Diego. And hey, we're returning to San Diego in December. Pachanga is hosting, letting us use their area. So come and join us in Native. Plus it'll be winter, and just come out there. It'll be nice and sunny. But I said, I need more healing with men. Because in my work, a lot of single women are a lot of women that were betrayed or abandoned. And then so when I'm doing the work, I can feel it. So I said, I need to trust men more. So Thomas put this Tomoko on, and that's happening. I love all of our Indian men, our Indian fathers, Native Dads Network, White Bison, Al Pooley's group. All, in my tribe, I really appreciate all my nephews, all my brothers, all my adopted sons, and I understand how hard it is to be an Indian man in the world. So that's that Tamoko. And I guess I rub it sometimes, say how stabati, how ninna, how napi natusi. And I call, Buksaput Uncle Buster, Buksaput Uncle Vernon, Buksaput Uncle William, Buksaput Uncle Charlie, Buksaput Sam Newbreast Jr., Buksaput. I call all Buksaput Old Voice, Gerald Cooper. I just rub it and I call them, and not necessarily for me, I just say, can you please help all of our Native men heal? Heal and spiritually heal inside, spiritually grow, and help us. And it always feels like, when I listen, and I was in talking circles, I was listening to these men, and I sat attentive. I really wanted to listen to them, and I may not agree with everything, and I don't have to, but I respect and have reverence and cherish our men. So when I rub it, and then sometimes when I want to think about Atstaniki, she was the midwife, and Awalski, grandma, and now my mom, because my mom's in the twilight of her life. It might be 20 years, but it might also happen next week. Anticipatory grief. So that's why I spend so much time with my mother and respect my mother. And so I rub this, and then my aunties, now my aunties are all gone, but their children are here. So when I see like Camilla Arrowtop, I say a prayer for her. When I see Steve Pollock, and then I see his sisters, all of his sisters, I pray for them. That's and then that's how you use this medicine, and this is already in you. That sago lily, that sago lily heals you from the inside. So for a moment, I'm just going to talk about water. And it's because one of the reasons is I head north at the Triple Divide, all of the 26 glaciers that melt is called the headwaters. And it's Triple Divide because one of the tributaries and all of the water goes in the St. Mary's Canal and goes into the Hudson River that feeds all of lower Alberta. The other way that the water goes from the 26 glaciers melting is down the Missouri, where Standing Rock is. And then the other is all the tributaries of water, underground water, and on top of rivers to the Pacific Ocean. So something happened 2 days ago. And 2 days ago, coming out of Babb, Montana, where I live, the big old cylinders that take the water north breached and broke. And that's where the water goes to Alberta and then comes back down, and they charge for it into Havre. Waters all the farms. That's where the water comes. So because it breached, it was at 8:30 in the morning. And within a few hours, all of the governments came and contained it and diverted it, because the water cannot stop for... Also, people know where their water comes from. So when then this faucet gets turned off, and it's interesting because our President Biden is now got an effort through the Bureau of Indian Affairs to help with the water situations in all of the tribes. But here we are, just right now. I'm heading north, and yesterday they said there was snow in Heart Butte. Natawa Pisaki posted, and that there was torrential, Blackfeet, they always say. It was raining cats and dogs. Could you just see all these cats? That means it's thunderbursts and there's lots of rain coming down. And so it came down and it burst. So here, the elders, when they were talking about water, they were saying that, they'd say the greatest healer is the water, to drink the water. And like the water even, and I didn't drink, I just soaked in it. Sometimes they take a little sip of it, but they were saying that it goes in and it has healed. I listened to an elder this morning. It healed the cancer. It healed the leukemia. It healed the diabetes. That water, it corrects everything. And so that sago lily that I just ate, and that, not our ancestors not having, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The warriors would just carry, or they would just dig out of the ground and eat a little, and that would sustain them. They could keep going. So so think about, that if you want wellness, think about the liquid that you put into you, and think about, even the other lesson there was just the high cedar, the red cedar, and they were saying if you just cedar every day, get up with the sun and put your hand up, and like how we say na tu si, ask the sun to heal your thoughts, ask the sun to heal your heart, ask the sun to heal your body, and then go out with ask the sun to heal your children, ask the sun to heal your grandchildren, ask the sun to heal your spouse, ask the sun to heal everyone that you love now, ask the sun to heal everyone, to heal them in the future. And that was Snowball was, the kids, we had all the kids put up the lodges. We call them lodges, they call them teepees. And there was a Kyle man, he was really good, and then of course Josh Cocker was there, but they put up the kids put up the teepee, and the kids took it down, and there was one, he was only about 12 years old, he had it down, and you could see his ancestors were in him, because as he took it down and was getting instruction to fold it, it was just like boom, 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 roll it up, and then say a prayer with it, tie it, and put it in the bag. And then it's all ready for the next time you put it up. So, you know what today is? I had a couple talking. It's Juneteenth. I was going, oh my God, it's celebration of Juneteenth, 19th of June. And the celebration is huge. It's a national holiday. Thank you, President Biden. But it also, our tribe sent out a message, and a tribe here, there's all these people saying, this is the day to acknowledge all of our African American relatives. This is the day that the end of slavery, and there's steps to, unlearning racism. Today is very important to celebrate and to cherish and to love our African American relatives. And so then, of course, my mom being friends with Nelson Mandela, when I was in college, Malcolm X was my hero. And then on our team, Native Wellness, G. Mark Harris, I was just down here and I was just going, Juneteenth, putting out tobacco. Woohoo! I was just Juneteenth. I was just going, Juneteenth, and it reminds us that yes, black lives do matter every day. The history of Africa and slavery is still with us, but we need to celebrate today, so I'm looking around. Of course, there's some cows over there. They're going right on Juneteenth. So buffalo and elk over there, and they go, woohoo, Juneteenth. No. So I think when I get more towards some cities, I might not hit cities till I hit Great Falls. This is like the on the back roads. But please, today when you light your smudge, today when you have a meal with your family, or today when you're making your tobacco ties, or today when you're going out and picking your sage, or today when you're doing all of those ceremonies, say prayers for Juneteenth, and that we live in a continent of freedom where it's a federal holiday, and it is a time when we embrace and have lateral kindness to all of our African American descent, and the Maroons, and those that are half Native and half African American. Embrace and celebrate. Whew, I wish I had a little Juneteenth flag. I would just roll it out, because I saw some different kind of flags flying around. So I just shot them down. No, no, in my mind. Anyway, just shot them down, and then so I wanted to speak about that. I want to move into the other thing that we learned. The prophecy. See this? I'm holding it very close. This is Kapal, Kapal, and you can Google it. But there was a group from Longmont, Colorado, and their sister city is Lander. So they put out applications to all their students, and a lot of them are Native. They had to apply, and they brought them to this youth summit. But they brought them with their singers, and man, they had some beautiful teenage youth singers that are learning the songs. And one of the fathers, and he's helping them all make their outfits. He's making a bustle. And to thank me for, I talked a lot about all kinds of different medicines that I had brought, and then Arapahoes brought their medicines, and people came and offered me tobacco and their ailments. And so there was kind of like, for the couple of days, the people that asked if I had it, I gave it to them. One of the women was she couldn't get rid of these headaches in her grief. So I gave her some breathing medicine, some bear root. But this young gentleman, I wanted this Kapal, and I'm calling it, I learned when I was 17 years old about the prophecies from Oren Lyons, from Philip Deere, from Thomas Benyaka. And one of the prophecies is when the condor meets the eagle. And so this Kapal, I've always, and see, this is how it works. I just ran out of Kapal at my house, because I usually burn some every evening about that prophecy in my bedroom as I'm going to bed. And I talked to Atstaniki. I got a picture of my grandma Agnes. And I just ran out, and I was going, wow, I need to get some Kapal. So if you're feeling generous and you have a whole bunch, send me some. Post Office Box 164, Bad, Montana. But he reached in his medicine. He had a kind of, today I'm wearing one of my Ganak Stimada brothers. This is wolf teeth. And he attached it to the old silver dollar. And then one of my little sisters going to school, she's Washo. She's the Enos. She gave me this medicine. So this man he had a medicine pouch like this, and he took out this kapal, because I had shared a lot with the bus of young people they had brought. And so he gave me this, and thank you. So I wanted to talk about, medicines. The way that you say thank you is give them sweet grass. The way that you say thank you is you give them tobacco. The way that you say thank you is you trade. And this kapal, just giving, so I keep it in my little satchel here, because and you could bite it. I'm gonna break it up, and this will have a lot of prayers for the rest of this month. I'll have kapal, and then I'll say a prayer, please bring me some more, and some more will come. And I'll trade. You talk to Creator. So when you pray to Creator and you need things, you have to give something. So think about, our biggest lesson was around sacred tobacco with these youth. We had Dolores Bigfoot and her son, and he has the coolest name, and I kept Ani Nish, because that's his, it means red tail hawk in their language, Kiowa. So he actually brought his pipe and prayed for us, but oh gosh, there were so many good things with the medicine. So many good things. So we walked the kids, and it was where the cross country walks. But the teachings of the tobacco is, we brought out traditional tobacco grown, not commercial tobacco, but reinvigorating some commercial tobacco by smudging it with the Arlen Shoyo came and cedared us off. So you can take, you can even take, your Marlboro and reinvigorate the tobacco, Pastascon, Isema. And so each of the youth, Dolores Bigfoot, she runs a trauma center, and they had these little pouches with their logo on it. And so we talked about medicine, and then we had them put it in their medicine pouch. We had flat cedar from Harold Balmont's son, went out and got flat cedar for Native Wellness, and our partners at Healing Together had a big old branch. So I put out the branch, and I'd put it out on my ceremonial shawl that Sam Newbreast Sr. gave me, and I said, just take off a pinch. And so all the kids, they would just take off a pinch of that flat cedar and put it in their little pouch. And so we played double ball in indigenous games, but when we went out on this walk, you're supposed to grab somebody and visit with them, like look in their eyes and talk, not look at your phone. But and then say prayers for anyone you're worried about, because part of what this group wanted to do was not to take away the judgment around those that have death by suicide. So they actually told us to change our verbiage and not say, oh, so-and-so committed suicide. Say they had death by suicide. And so then a lot of the youth that had come here, their best friend had death by suicide. A lot of the youth, some had a parent that had death by fentanyl. A lot of they on this walk, they took out their little pouch. We're teaching them how to be an Indian. They took out their little pouch and they would stop and put down tobacco and pray that that person is not stuck in between and gets to travel over. They would take out their tobacco and put it down and pray for their grief, for loving and cherishing this person. And then they, a lot, with the cedar, there was many lessons about, a heart, how the healing of the heart happens with cedar. And so then if something was bothering them that hurts their heart, they were supposed to put tobacco on this walk. And so we're all out there and it was hot, and there was some bull snakes out there, and they won't hurt you, but some people don't. I don't like snakes, but some people are like, I don't want to be. So they would walk, and then you see people put down their tobacco and stop for a minute. Sometimes it's good to close your eyes, and just really spumadapi, ask for angels, because a lot were worried about people they loved, and so they prayed that there's guardian angels around that person, because they can't fix them. They can't fix them. So those that were still using the fentanyl and the other heroin and their other big issue, and I just want to share it with you because I've really been saying prayers to understand, was the vaping. There's just this high vaping, nicotine and vaping of THC. I was explaining that you can take the tobacco and say you have a methamphetamine addict. You can talk directly to, because there's spirit in alcohol, there's spirit in fentanyl, spirit in methamphetamine. And we have learned that if you take the tobacco and talk directly to that spirit and acknowledge its power, like I acknowledge how powerful you are. But with this tobacco, I'm putting it down and I'm telling you, you are not welcome here anymore. You are not welcome inside my body anymore. You're not welcome in my relative's body. You're not welcome in this family. And that tobacco will stop it. Talk to the spirit of those not so good things, that not good, bad things, the toxicity. Talk to the spirit, and then ask for lateral forgiveness. Ask for self-forgiveness. Ask for forgiveness. Forgive the past the best you can, because we were told by the elders here, do not carry grudges. Do not carry resentments. And then put that tobacco down. So that was our group walked, and it was quite a while. We hiked and walked. And then our brother had his pipe, and we can come by and get more medicine and keep that pouch. And so the youth just loved that. And so now they're walking Indian with ancestral knowledge, and know that they have choice. Know that they can choose to drop a prayer when they're not feeling so good. If they're feeling alone, or they're feeling isolated, or they're feeling abandoned, or they just feel like disrespected. Wow. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me a moment just to share all of the prosperity and abundance on the Wind River Reservation. Thank you, Phil Stevens. If you guys meet, he's a beautiful Navajo person that's been working there, and he was like the coordinator, and he went out and he talked to the programs. He broke down barriers, and he built a team. There was 15 of us, a team, and then Josh and I from Native Wellness were just an additional 17, and then we had others come. But Phil Stevens and Kelly Webb, my hats off to you, because you have built the team, and the answers from within. You can bring outside experts, but the answer has to come from the people that live there and that are going to die there. Outsiders cannot do it. You can facilitate. That's what Gona is about. You can facilitate, but they had, like, my hat's off to Celeste Spoonhunter. Her daughter came and brought her 4-month-old to the whole entire. She wanted healing for her 4-month-old, so she has a new, different world, and she was even on the walk. She had like a blanket draped over her. She said that, and I was telling her when I was walking with her, I said, your baby feels best comfort when she can smell you. And she goes, yeah, because sometimes when she goes to my mom, or as soon as I said, yeah, your baby needs to feel your heartbeat. Your baby needs to nurse. Your baby needs to know that they are safe. They are loved. They are cherished. And so, anyway, but I like that baby. I just had to kiss her because you can smudge with the baby. And actually, she asked me to when we let our rite of passage medicine. I said, well, no, actually, take your baby. 4 directions. Smudge your baby every day. Smudge and a good specific prayer. Always be specific when you're smudging your baby or your child. It could be 9-year-old, 5-year-old. Smudge it. Just pray that they have a long, healthy life. We talked about everyone can live 100 years. So she was smudging her baby, that her baby has a long, healthy life. And the baby's face was like, oh, she was 4 months old, but she was like, oh, babies can talk, and babies, she was elated. She was just bright, and her smile, she hadn't got any teeth yet, but when the baby was being smudged, the baby's like, woohoo, woohoo. And that's, I'm gonna wind down and let you go. It's Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to Native Wellness Institute. Gitsikakamin, we love you and we cherish you. We're here every Wednesday, so I had to pulled over War Pony. You can see War Pony's parked. That's my badass truck that I just bought. So War Pony and me are riding along, and sometimes I'm riding along, whipping both sides, like I can smell the police. I go, so I slow down to 80. But when I go, and I don't smell them, I go 95. When I pass somebody, I go 100. Because I'm a badass, and Scoppy Picani riding my pony from Wyoming to Montana and putting down tobacco as I go. So with that, I'm just going to say Kitakito Matsuno, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And if you see me, I'm heading up this way. I'm going to a headdress transfer at Picani. And the days of the Ini, right now, they're sweating on Chief Mountain. They're going to continually try to bring wild buffalo be below Ninastico. So say a prayer for me, and, just because I need it. I need it. And I appreciate it. So, Kitaki to Matsuno, and we'll see you next Wednesday.